The second highly undervalued stock I bought this week was Nike, ticker symbol NKE. Nike has not swooshed this year. In fact, it's been going down a huge avalanche. And you can see that from the stock price, which yield to date is down 11.7% year to date. That's in terms of the S&P 500 comparison, which is up 7.73% yield to date. So what's causing this beloved Michael Jordan brand to lose steam? Sleek and bold colored sneakers are no longer in, and the brand hasn't been trending for the past year. And the CEO even said something about this. He's aware that the growth and imagination seem to be an issue at this company. He said that Nike adopted a remote work policy that Donahue said hurt its competitive edge. And this is the CEO talking about it. But even more importantly, our employees were working from home for 2.5 years. And in hindsight, it turns out it's really hard to do bold, disruptive innovation to develop a boldly disruptive shoe on Zoom. The company has been working on a bold, disruptive plan to churn out new products and hopefully reinvigorate excitement for the brand. It's just words right now because the sneaker maker actually slashed its revenue outlook for the forthcoming fiscal year, citing weaker digital demand in the US and stronger headwinds in its key Europe, Mideast, Asia region. So it's basically saying that the forecast isn't looking so good even in 2024, and that last year was bad because of innovation and because of remote work. Besides this innovation problem, Nike is continuing to lay off more than 2% of its workers. In USA Today, it said that 740 workers are planning to be laid off. This is a second phase of impacts that would begin in June 28th. And from last quarter's earnings call, this came from Nike's CEO 2 months ago that we were just discussing, that it was going to reduce its workforce by about 2%, or more than 1,600 employees. So they're basically pulling an Elon right now and just pruning the company to make sure that it is going to be growing in the future. But of course, this doesn't look that great on Wall Street because it doesn't look like they're expanding very well. So let's look at the financials to see if this is impacting their company in a very data-driven way. Because we see that qualitatively, a lot of people are not really going for Nike's brand. You know, they're going for more of the vintage look, or at least since I've been on social media, that's what I've been seeing. They haven't really been going for a lot of Nike's look, which is traditionally the color and the like sleek things. Like it's more of a chunky sneaker that people are looking at right now. So can Nike steer the ship to more innovation? I think they can. I think these are just short-term headwinds, but let's look at the financials to see if that is correct. And again, we will go to micro trends and we will see the revenue from 2010 to 2024. And we can see that in the quarter ending February 29th was $12.42 billion, a 0.31% increase year over year, so not much of an increase. Trailing 12 months was $51.58 billion, a 1.89% increase year over year. Let's look at the 10-year chart. This is more of a 20-year chart. But as you can see, it's going up and right, and it's actually not doing that bad. It's doing pretty well. As we can see, there was a little hiccup right here between the you know what, but it's been doing really well, and it's almost 5x'd in 20 years, which is really amazing. So the outlook looks really good. So let's go to net income, see if we can get more of a story. And it says that quarter, it was $1.17 billion, a 5% decline. And trailing 12 months was $5.23 billion, a 4.51% decline. And as we can see over here, it has been going up and to the right. There were a few hiccups again. It looks like they have to innovate a little bit more. Let's look at shares outstanding. Quarter ending was 2.45% decline. Very, very nice. So that looks so beautiful. That decline looks gorgeous. Okay, so basically if our shares outstanding are going lower, it means that we are getting more shares by doing nothing. We're getting a bigger piece of the pie. And we see that the gross margin has fluctuated off and on. Looks like it hasn't really been going in a straight up and down arrow. That's pretty common for retail. I'm hoping that they can do more of a digital impact so they won't have to use so many same store sales. But overall, it's been pretty similar. So we have between 43 to 47%. So it has been pretty consistent. Nike seems to be having an innovation issue. So why am I buying this? First of all, I think that that's very short-term headwinds, and I think their brand loyalty and followers will follow suit. I think that they have so much brand loyalty that they can basically get any player that they want and the highest quality, highest paid players that they want. And Michael Jordan is making bank off of his deals. So a lot of the all-star players would love to get a brand deal from Nike. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. And Nike is putting their money where their mouth is, where it says Caitlin Clark lands historic $20 million shoe deal with Nike that includes signature shoes. So they were talking about the pay gap, that Caitlin Clark wasn't getting as much money as the men, and Nike did something about it, noting that she would make it the largest ever for a WNBA player. This is her first major sponsorship as a professional women's basketball player, and this will span over 8 years. And Caitlin says, "I'm humbled to be part of this first Nike basketball class and passionate about inspiring the next." She's the number 1 overall in this month's WNBA draft and is expected to make a total of $338,000 in her first 4 years in the league. That's compared with the NBA's most recent number 1 overall draft pick, who is expected to earn $55 million. So I think this will have a big impact on Nike sales. And I think, as I said, because of their brand loyalty and because every single basketball all-star would love to get a deal with Nike because they know how lucrative that can be. I think if they continue to do this and continue to innovate, this stock will 2x. And I'm very proud to own this company.